Hello, dearest. Hi everyone. So this is Claudia Oro back with another episode of Girl in the World podcast, and today I'm mostly just gonna be rambling about the first month of this year. Everything that's has been feeling a little too awkward than I expected. The first month of being in my mid 20s and just how it's going. So, yeah, let's get into it. They say when you're in your, say, mid 20s, then you're probably in some quarter life crisis. And part of it is right. And then the rest of it is also just a whole other confusing situation. First of all, when is the quarter of your life even at? Because when you say quarter, that means half is at 50 and full is at 100. Most people don't even live up to 100. So you probably went through your quarter life crisis as a teenager and you're not even aware of it. Anyways, let's take the example that quarter life crisis it is at mid 20s in this case, which fortunately or unfortunately I happen to be at already. And it's not been that long in it, but I can say, mm, okay, there are both positives and negatives to it. I'm even lost at this point. So much has happened in the last month that it almost feels like I have lived so much of this year already. We talk about January being so long just because there is the like you're maybe burdened financially, or just planning, making strategic decisions, stuff like that. But we don't really look way more keenly into the other life decisions that don't involve money, that actually hit you so hard when you get to this stage. Okay, so at 20, like at mid 20s now, I don't know, it's been 1 month. I can swear to you that I have thought so far in the last month that I've met the love of my life at least twice. Yeah, and it's not even funny at this point because okay, maybe it is, but at those very moments when I realized it really wasn't a fun thing. Lately I have been thinking hard about if I should get a new bed or a sofa, or if I should get a washing machine or a TV. It is, it's very, very small things, but then, okay, personally, I would say I think very much about even the smallest of things that do not seem to need all of that attention, but it's just what makes me myself. So I embrace it fully as it comes. But nobody really told us how much of these things that you're going to have to fix for yourself. The other day, I was in an Uber going somewhere near Westlands, and wait, was it Westlands? No, I think it was towards Kileleshwa, Lavington area. And beside the road, there was a billboard. I looked at the billboard, and usually it's just the ones that catch your attention are billboards for, say, oh, there is some new skincare product that they're doing, or there is like this investment property that is on sale or something, or maybe it's just it's some new lotion, perfume, something. But for the first time, my attention was caught by a billboard for health insurance. Yeah, that and I realized, okay, maybe at this point I'm not really a child, because I started to rethink and say, okay, that looks like a good deal that they have there. Maybe I should rethink what I am using for insurance right now, and I should go and like Google them, get their number, and see how much good of a deal I can get for that health insurance. And oh my gosh, it reminded me back to it reminded me of the time, the first time ever that I had to pay for my own what medical care. Because as a young person, you're probably under your parents' insurance, and I was under my aunt's insurance for quite a while, like basically all through childhood and all that, and university as well. So actually, at this point, I was still in university, and one day I fall ill. I go to the hospital where the insurance is accepted, and strangely enough, there is just a lot of waiting. So I keep asking over and over what is going on, and they tell me, oh, it looks like you're no longer covered by your guardian's insurance, and it's either you pay out of pocket, or you just have to go to another different place. And at that point, I honestly thought that was I thought that was rock bottom, to be honest, because I was still in university, and you're telling me that I cannot get medical assistance because I'm not being insured under my guardian's insurance anymore. Mind you, I don't even know. I'm not even sure what I'm going to be doing with my life the next day. I'm not even sure of what I'm going to be eating for the next meal for dinner. Okay, I probably don't know that till now, but back then it was still a constant worry. And they told me this, and everything just it felt like that was the rock bottom of life and getting into adulthood. But now I realize that it definitely was not. There was definitely a place that was way lower than that. And I really cannot say I'm at it right now, but I feel like it is still coming. There are lots of rock bottoms that are still going to come. So I, I'm just cruising through it at this moment, to be honest. I really cannot even, I cannot say to myself that I can tell, oh, next month is going to be this way, to certain aspects at least. Anyways, I need to stop coming on here and talking about life like it's so. I just realized, okay, the main thing was I wanted this space mostly to talk about the realities of life itself, and to take out that feeling of all roses and pretty things every other time. So for some reason, I find myself only getting the energy to do this when I feel conflicted about certain things. um, in case anyone noticed, I haven't really I did not post an episode in the last week, and as I am recording this, I am already a few days late from the date when I was supposed to be posting the other, like the next one. Okay, not too late. Today is Monday, so just one day late. But yeah, the first week that I missed, I simply just didn't have anything to say, to be honest. I said it the last time that I don't really give myself a specific time to record an episode. And for me, it is just when I feel like, oh, this is something I want to talk about, then I just switch on stuff and I do it. And if I do not feel like it, then there really isn't anything I'm going to do about it. So the other week was one of those times when, yeah, I was feeling rather silent. My brain was feeling rather calm. Okay, let's not lie to each other. I was heartbroken. Not as close to heartbroken, but okay, maybe heartbroken is a bit of an overstatement. Say, I was just I was exhausted. Yeah. My brain was exhausted, my heart was exhausted, my soul was exhausted, and I just did not have the energy to put any thoughts together and bring out an episode. So, in case there's anyone who listens religiously, I am sorry about that. And yeah. And then last week I really do not know what happened yesterday because usually I post the episodes on Sunday, and I mostly I record them either on Saturday and post on Sunday, or I actually just record on Sunday and post it on that very same day. I really do not have a schedule with it. But yesterday was just out of pure exhaustion. That is physical exhaustion because I'd just been I stayed up late and I had been in bed the whole day, so I really didn't have a voice or any energy to do much of it. So today is indeed the day the that has been planned for me over here. And I am still wondering exactly what I have to say, to be honest. Because, those times when you feel like you have so many thoughts, you have all these things that are running through your head, and there is just no specific way to put them out into one good into one good idea. And I'm starting to think, okay, maybe topics is not really the best part for me, because if I put out a topic and I try to you know dig deeper into it, it might not be the very best way for me to express myself. I also did the mistake of listening to my last episode, and the number of, you know, you know, that were in that episode. It was it was, let's just say, I'll try to do better. I will absolutely try to do better, because we can never do so much. I try, I promise, I try. And I recently came across a really interesting thing which has helped me to, okay, I'm sorry again. But yeah, okay, I was saying I came across an ideology that has been very helpful in planning out my next activities for, say, the next week or the next month, or just planning out a way forward for my life. And it says, do not don't live the same year 25 times and call it a life. So this time I'm using 25 because that's the number of years that I've lived already. But yeah, so don't live the same year 25 times and call it a life. The original place where I saw this, though, it said, don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Okay, I didn't see it from, okay, so I guess that was like for old people or something. But yeah, it was an unexpected sight, but then you realize how many times you stick to a routine and you get so used to it that your life becomes this endless, it's just an endless circle of things that you do every single day. Say you go to work, or you turn on your laptop and you do the work at home. You wake up, you dress up, you go to work, you come back, you make food, you eat, you go to bed. And then during the weekend, maybe you meet friends, or you stay at home, or you go out and you come back, and you do this all through your life. It just becomes, at some point you realize your own life has become boring even to you, and you're not really doing anything that you would consider useful at that very moment. So, okay, I really did not see this anywhere to okay, long story short, I saw it on the bio of some random man's dating profile. It does not matter where the wisdom comes from, it matters what the wisdom is. But I've really like it's really resonated with me because I realized to some extent there are a number of things that I have been doing way too many times than I would like to admit, or that I would say is healthy for someone who wants to become a little more say a little more active. Yeah, active is a better word for it. So do not live the same life 25 times, and do not live do not live the same year 25 times and call it a life. And to other extent, you find out that you're living way too carefree that you start to wonder if you are just carefree or you are simply lazy. I've honestly had this question for about a week now, or even more. If am I just being adventurous and like free spirited, or am I being lazy? I cannot say I already have an answer to it, but maybe in the next episode I will have figured it out in a better way than I currently do. And then today is fifth, and I honestly have had to cut a little bit out of, mute a bit of other words online, all that, because I realize it is almost Valentine's. You see every single couple's getting all worked up about all this Valentine's thing. Everyone's so lovey-dovey and all, and you realize, okay, 1 month ago, or maybe two, or whatever time, I thought, okay, I was gonna be having this beautiful flowery Valentine's, and but it's coming up and you're still single and you're wondering, okay, now what? It is not exactly a huge deal for anyone who is very comfortable as a single person and doing their own things at their own times. But I do realize that there are other people who have a certain pressure to having a partner and doing all these partner activities together. I will not say in what category I fall, because I feel like for the longest time I have been in relationships, and this might actually be the longest time that I am just taking my own time, which is pretty interesting because I'm getting to experience a lot of things about myself, about other people. Um, a few times from conversations that I've had with other people, I have thought, okay, maybe I should go back to therapy. And then the next time I get a whole other view on it, and I realize, oh no, maybe that other person was the one who needed to go back to therapy if they ever were there. And if they weren't, then they definitely needed it back then, even earlier before they told me whatever. So yeah, every single day feels like a new challenge has come up. Every single day feels like there is something new I'm learning about the world. And in terms of dating, I would say, ah, okay, maybe I don't know. I just feel like I have seen a lot of different personalities in the last month than I have seen in the last year. Okay, cannot be any crazier because yeah, maybe last year there wasn't any dating at all when you're actually in a relationship. But I cannot just stress this enough. I cannot stress how confusing it is to be in your mid 20s and not be sure of how you want that 30s life to be. Because once you're here, you really stop looking at what life was like earlier on. The only time that you have to look back was is like when you're comparing how easy something was back then, and now you actually have to put thought into it. But well, I live. Anyways, let us not put too much pressure into it. Remember when we were starting this, maybe, oh, or maybe it was only on me, but I had the notion of take it easy, take it simple, no pressure, and all that. And I feel the question of lazy or carefree is too much pressure. So moving forward, I think I'm just gonna take it, without a thought, to be honest. I'm just going to slide down into it and just totally relax, no pressure whatsoever. And then other times, sometimes I am recording these episodes, and when I am talking, I listen to myself as well, and I realize, okay, did I say something? Or because other times it also feels like, oh, okay, you've said so much and you've said nothing at the same time. Oh gosh. Anyways, I am working towards putting my thoughts in way better sequence than they have been before. There are certain places where I feel like my thoughts are very well figured out, and then other times everything is just spewing out at different times, almost like the way you just speak out to yourself when you're home alone. And it's never coherent thoughts, it's always just a bunch of things at random times, and I bring it on here. And I don't, I really cannot apologize any. I will not be apologizing for it, because yeah, our brains are what they are, and we need to be putting up with these things more and more each and every other time. I mean, it can't really be any worse, because a few weeks ago, I was having a conversation with a man that is in his 50s, and he was telling me, okay, I asked this man what he does for a living, and he was telling me he's a life coach, and he's a fitness and life coach. And I'm like, okay, bro, at 50, what fitness are you telling us? Your body is going to start breaking down sometime soon. So, what exactly is the fitness part that you're bringing? Okay, let this not be taken out of context, because yeah, I've met a whole lot of very, very fit people, even at whatever age, however old they grow. There definitely is a great fitness routine that other people follow that is very admirable. But this man was out here telling me that he's a life coach. He just hustles. He just does things, and I realized, okay, Claudia, I think you have it way better. So there really isn't any need to, even stress yourself anymore. Because if at 50 I were to tell myself that I am still hustling, I really do not know what I would do with my life, to be honest. Because I've said it before, and I'd say again, like, poverty is one of those things that I do not take very lightly for myself. One of those things that I try very much to, work endlessly and tirelessly to not be at. So, imagining being in my 50s and having hustle as a phrase in my vocabulary, I really do not think I would be happy with myself. So I realized, okay, maybe for where I'm at, it's not really that bad, and there really isn't any pressure to put on myself. Absolutely. I don't even know. And that is another reason that made it all the more easier to less, like, have less pressure of talking to other people, because I was getting way too many different energies that I really did not need for the first part of the year. it is that time when you're just trying to take in just as much as you could. You're not really trying to you're not trying to bring in other parts of people's lives that is not going to be good for the current energy you have for your own, which is a really really nice boundary to have with yourself, to be honest. I would highly recommend that. If you're at a certain stage where you are only living by a certain form of energy, try very hard not to engage yourself with anything that is so much different from that. And as good as that is, I'd say I have faced the negative side of it from another person because I was also having a conversation with someone that was in okay, I will not be giving specific areas, but yeah, someone in country A. And okay, so I enjoy travel and adventure, and apparently they did too. So we were talking about that specific thing, and they were asking me, okay, so what do you have? Like, no, this person was asking me about Dubai, and I was telling him, okay, the last time I was there it had been very short, so I'd definitely do Dubai again. Absolutely would do Dubai again. And he said, okay, then okay, so when are you going? And I told him that, well, at the moment I really do not have I like the adequate opportunity to plan for that. Like, I'm not at a stable point to plan that trip at this moment. And so he kept on asking, okay, so what is the main hindrance to planning this trip? And I said, okay, other than other things, financially, I also think I need to put my money into other things rather than that trip at this moment. And this bro told me that he told me, okay, I'm not really associating myself with people with financial difficulties at this point of my life. And I said, okay, at first it was the thought of, oh, wow, like, okay, that was a burn. But I, I, I took my time again, listened to it. Okay, I rather read it, and I realized this is literally the dream boundaries that I want to have with my life. I want to have this kind of strong boundaries where I can literally, just tell someone, okay, you cannot just wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night and say, oh, I feel like I want to do that Dubai trip again, and then just book it immediately. Because for him, it was in the aspect of financial constraints, was in the wasn't it wasn't the act of having to save for maybe a number of months or weeks and then doing the trip in, say, maybe mid-year or at the end of the year. For him, the financial constraint was the fact that I couldn't wake up and just book the trip. And I realized, okay, this is a guy that's put so much boundaries on his, like, on the kind of people that he associates with already. So I felt like it was, as much as it was a burn for me, it was quite an eye opener, because I realized, oh, I definitely want to be this kind of person at some point in my life. Not only for, booking that trip when I feel like it, but also on rejecting every form of energy that does not align with what I want to have around me. And ever since I had that, it's been way easier to cut off any, all this mediocrity that you see in other people. It's been way easier to cut that out as soon as they come, because I have realized, no one is gonna beat you. Okay, considering what's going on in the country right now, you'd say something could be bad. But in this case, I'm talking about just conversations on text and all that. Nobody's gonna beat you because you put a strict and you put a strict boundary on what you want to surround yourself with. So in whatever decision that you're making moving forward, do know that there is definitely the right to refuse access. Refuse access to people you do not want to be associated with or to associate yourself with. Refuse access to mediocrity that does not seem to satisfy your current life goals. It definitely is an eye opener. I do not want to repeat anything else again on this very episode. So I will end this one at this very moment because today was mostly just rambling about how the last month has been and how weird it is to finally realize that, oh, you're an adult, and coming to terms with the different personalities that you meet as an adult and the different ways that you take this in, having a totally different perspective of how you would have taken it a while back. So that is all I've had time for today, and I am hoping to interact more. I will definitely be doing the next episode way sooner to avoid getting a little too lazy or a little too flaky with this. And I hope that you give me grace in, just doing this at my own time and at my own pace because we're all new to this. I am new to this. We're all just figuring it out. So definitely tune in to Girl in the World podcast on other episodes, and make sure to follow me on social media at girlintheworld.podcast or on my personal account at Claudia Aoro, that is CLAUDIA.AORO, and have a lovely time. Bye.